There are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. That's a fact. It's a thing we can't deny. Like the fact that I will love you till I die. We're 12 billion light years from the edge. That's a guess. No one can ever say it's true, but I know I'll always be with you. I'm warmed by the fire of your love every day. So don't call me a liar, just believe everything that I say. There are 6 billion people in the world, more or less, and it makes me feel quite small. You are the one I love you most of all. Hello everyone, it's me, Karen. This is my YouTube channel, Kerin-in-London. Now here I'm in Greenwich, so this is beautiful Greenwich University. It's very beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so today I'm gonna talk about the challenges you have to face when you move to a new country. So what kind of challenges do we have when we move to a new country? Let me think. I think number one is language, the language barrier, because not every single one can speak English. Maybe some people expect every single one on this planet can speak English, but unfortunately, not everyone can speak English in this world, because we speak different languages, we have different cultural backgrounds. So I think language is definitely the number one thing you got to consider when you move to a new country. For example, for me, it's not a massive problem because I learned English when I was a child. So I do speak this language, and then moving to a new country is fine. Well, English speaking countries is fine, but for some people, English is not their first language and they have to learn English. It could be very challenging and it's not easy. I think my advice would be, when you move to a new country, you're moving to a new country, just learn it right now when you're in your own country. Don't wait until you move to that country and then learn it. I think one of the mistakes that many people make is like, we'll say, okay, I'm moving to England next year and I can't be bothered learning English now. I'll learn it when I'm there, or when I'm in an English speaking country. My English will be perfect. You don't know how. But many people do think so. You think you're in that environment, it's so easy to learn it. But I would say it's actually not that easy, because you got other challenges, you got the culture differences, the culture shock, and the social integration, and you don't have any friends, you feel very lonely, you have lots of other problems and challenges you got to face. So yes, I think the best way to do it is you have a plan and you learn it even when you're in your own country. Don't wait until, let's say, you come to England and then you learn English. I'll give you a simple example. I know many Chinese students, right? They pass their exams and then they could study here, but they just think, okay, once I'm there, my English will be brilliant because it's an English environment and you got to speak English when you shop and you got to talk to your friends and like this. But when they are here, they just get together with their Chinese friends and they end up speaking Chinese, not English. In that case, your English will never improve. So seriously, I personally really think just learn the language in your home country and don't wait. If you think you move to an English speaking country, your English will be perfect, like very fluent, like, native speakers. It's I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's gonna take quite a long time because you still need to learn and you still need to practice and be confident. Just talk to people. Yes. So that's my advice. So that's the language. I think that's the number one challenge you got to face when you move to a foreign country. If you move to France or English, not English speaking countries, French, Spanish, there's so many languages, right, in this world. Unless you move to a country and your company sent you somewhere and you don't have to learn the language, you can have a PA, a translator, help you when you work and help you deal with personal tasks. In that case, you probably don't need to learn English. Not English, you probably don't need to learn the language very well, but it would be great if you could just speak some and help you to get around. Number two, the second challenge, I think, is a culture difference, the culture shock and adjustment. Moving to a new country is not your home country. Language is very different and the culture they have is different from the culture you are used to. Like I'm from China, so I'm used to, our food and our weather and our culture, and move to this country. There are just so many things I need to learn. It's just sometimes it can become a very big shock. I'll give you a very simple example. I love Chinese foods. When I first, arrived here, I realized people just eat a simple cold sandwich for lunch. For me, that's definitely a culture shock because, first of all, I don't like cold food. That's probably just me. And second of all, I don't like sandwiches. I don't think just 2 slices of bread and some ham and some cheese or or whatever others you put in a sandwich. I don't think that's proper food. I know that I'll probably offend many people, but for me, yeah, that what I remember when I first moved here, yeah, I could see people eat sandwiches, for lunch, and people just simply, you can go to any shops in UK and just grab a sandwich and a bag of crisps and a drink, and they call it a meal deal. And that's your lunch. For me, if I look at every single item I got, sandwich called sandwich, I don't like that, and a drink, I don't like cold drinks either. And a bag of, treats, I don't think that's healthy. Maybe I'm the one who got issues here. But for me, that was a really big shock for me. So I have to face it and find the solutions. I realized eating outside, when you eat in let's say a restaurant, you eat in a pub, it's not cheap in this country. But in my country, eating out is relatively much cheaper. That's why people always eat out. People can't really afford, eating out every single meal, because it's much more expensive. Yes, so I suppose if you grab a sandwich from a shop, it's much cheaper and it's also very easy. But 5 years ago, that was absolutely a big shock for me. Um, yes, so we need to just, adapt it and then learn the culture in this country you're moving to, um, and then understand the culture and respect the culture and, try to adapt it. If there's some things you don't like, and you have to find a different solution. Like I don't like cold sandwiches for lunch. When I go to park with my kids and with my friends, I'll just grab a salad. You can grab a salad. I'll grab a box of sushi, or there are different options. You can always try to find something you like. Yes, so you're not in your home country, and you can't expect when you go out and you eat every single meal it's a hot meal. So you have to, somehow find a solution. Um, I remember, I give you another example. My husband in 2008, his job sent him to China, to Beijing to work. At that time, he knew nothing about China, about the country. So probably all he knew at that time was there are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. So when he landed and he just, jumped in a taxi and haven't got a clue, like Chinese people can't really speak English, and jump in a taxi and start talking English in his Yorkshire accent. And the taxi driver was like, "What are you talking about?" And for him, that was culture shock, because you expect the people, every single one can speak English in a different country, but they can't. And you realize, oh gosh, I have to learn their language. And that was a massive thing I could imagine. And a funny thing, for him, because sometimes when you go to a new country, you can't expect yourself, or you can't expect people to know everything about the country. That's totally understandable. So when he went to China, he landed in Beijing. He thought Chairman Mao was still in charge in 2008. So that just shows you, people don't really know too much about the country. There is just so much to learn, and there is just so much for you to understand. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's number two, the culture differences, and you need to learn, you need to adapt, you need to adjust. It's not easy, but try to find the best way to do it, and try to find the solutions. Try to make friends. That's the next thing I want to talk about. It's a social integration. When you move to a new country, obviously you left your family and your friends, behind in your home country. When you come to a new country, you need to make new friends. If you have children and children go to school, I think that's relatively easier, because you can make friends with your children's um, friends, their family, their parents. You have something in common, the school events, or talk about the kids and arrange play days and go to parks, just stuff like that. I think it's easier. If you move to a country, you are single, or you and your partner, you don't have children, um, just try to find a hobby. Do you like football? You can, I don't know, go to watch a game, football game with other people, and yeah, just see what you like. Do you like rugby, or are you into any sports? In this country, in UK, I think people love sports. They love football. They love rugby. They love all kind of sports. So if you try to join a club, or whatever people they do here, and you can always make friends in you have something in common, or even you have a dog, you have a cat. Let's say you have a dog and you take dog out for a walk, and then you can join groups, different groups. Um, yeah, you can even make friends when you take your dog out for a walk. These are just different options. Just see what you like to do. What is your hobby? It's a good way to make friends. If you don't like anything, another option could be just go to a pub. People here love going to a pub, don't they? Just go to a pub and talk to people, talk about, sports and, just things like that. You can always make friends. Um, yeah, just try to make some new friends. People are nice in general, I believe. Yeah, you can always find friends. If you have a job here, I think it's also easier because you have your colleagues. You can go out with your colleagues. So I think one of the other challenges people might have is the fear of losing the way you used to live. Um, the way you used to live, like you have your friends and family, the things you like to do. And when you move to a new country, maybe things are different and you don't have friends. Um, you might worry about, okay, I'm gonna lose contact with my old friends. But these are all the challenges we have. Next challenge, I think, is a career challenge. Because for some people, finding a job in a different country could be very difficult and challenging. The language barriers and the cultural differences we've been talking about, and you don't have any network here, so you feel like you start from very beginning again. Let's say if you move here because your partner got a job here and you've not got a job and you have to start again and find a new job, that this could be a challenge. I know many people, they move from one country to another country because their partner's job. But for you, it could be a challenge because every single country you go, you have to find a new job and you always feel like you start again and again and again. For example, myself, my husband got a job in January 2019, so he moved back first and got to start his new job in January after New Year. So I joined him in February with my older daughter. When I got here, I could start, working a little bit. Not being easy, but I could still, manage to get jobs and stuff like that. I was a freelancer, so I'm an interpreter and a translator. People, there's no difference. There is a difference. Yes, so when I was in China, I got a little business, a translation business. I got regular clients and deal with translation and also interpretation work for meetings and conferences. I got also freelancer translators working for me. So I got to just, give up everything and move to a new country, and you feel like, oh, you're gonna start again. So I'm just sending my CVs to the translation agencies in UK, and I managed to get some work. Yes, just through the agencies. And then COVID started. So 2020, from 2020, and when COVID started, COVID really hit our industry because different countries, you got different regulations, and in China they've always been very strict, and Chinese people stopped coming to UK for business, for meetings. So for us, we didn't get enough work. Yeah, all I'm saying this is just you could get a job or your career, challenges. It's not been easy. All these things you got to just try to fight it and try to find a solution. Next, a couple of videos, I'm going to talk about um, finding a job in UK, um, and visas. There is going to be a massive change in work visa. I'm going to talk about that as well. Yeah, so that's finding a job. Not easy, isn't it? But we still need to try to, fight it. Never give up. Never give up. And you'll find things will get better. Like I think now it's been 5 years and things are getting much better and better. Next challenge I want to talk about is the financial considerations. Um, well, for example, me, when I lived in China, living cost is much lower um, compared to UK. So when I go to shop, everything is in this currency, and you couldn't stop just calculating in your head, oh, how much is in my money. But you know, you just can't do that. You just need to get used to things. Yeah, so your new job, and you need to think about the salary and how much money you can bring to the family and what kind of other investment you can do. And the living cost is definitely different. Um, yeah, just consider this. Before you move to a new country, you need to make sure it's worth it. You can't, find a job and working really hard and you end up, losing money. And that's not very good, isn't it? So just always remember this, your financial situation. I think that's also quite important. Yes, so you might have different challenges when you move to a new country. You might get homesick, you miss your family, you miss your friends, you miss the lifestyle you used to. This all could be, difficult, and this all could be your challenges. Like for me, when apart from all of these challenges I've been talking about, I think another challenge for me is, food and also the weather, British food. Uh, I can't really say too much about the food because people get offended when I say British food. Anyway, for me, the food here is very, very challenging. So, what's my solution? I learned how to cook. Yes, so I learned how to cook when I moved to this country. If I want to eat the food my mom cooks, the food my mom cooks, I really like. I have to learn. So I call my mom and just ask her how do I cook, or I can watch YouTube videos and then I can learn how to cook. Yes. Yeah, food is challenging, and the other thing I think living here is the weather. If you move to a country and the weather is like here in UK, it rains every single day. No, that's not true. It rains a lot, um, and especially in winter, sometimes you could see the sky is very, very dark. Um, it could be very, very depressing in long winter. It gets dark very easy, but you just can't let the weather beat you up and let you down. You still need to pick up yourself and just carry on. Yeah, even simple things like food and weather could be challenges. Well, me and my husband, we always wonder why we left Singapore. Anyway, yeah, you might have different challenges when you move to a new country. But I think the main thing is we need to just say never give up, and you move to a new country, you learn a new language, which is very good, right? And you get new jobs, it could be all like very exciting, and you make new friends, it's all positive. Don't let the negative thoughts just, run through your head and make you depressed and make you feel very down and lonely. Just always pick up yourself and fight for it. Never give up. Okay, well, now I'm talking. Sun is out. You might not see it, but sun is out. It's lovely when sun is out. Yeah, so it's not always, dark and depressing here. Sun is out sometimes. Yes, so when you move to a new country, just, we get different challenges, we got different issues and problems and difficulties you need to deal with. And what is your challenge when you move to a new country? Leave a comment and let me know. Okay, next couple of videos, I'm gonna talk about finding a job in UK and the massive change in terms of UK work visa. And I want to talk about family visas. If you have family in UK and you want to move back to UK, you need to prepare your family visa. I like to tell you my experience in terms of my family UK family visa. Yeah. And if there's anything else you want to know, please leave a comment and don't forget to like my video and subscribe it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.